What is up, people? This is me, Spec Poo Football 24 here, coming off of Chip Kelly getting fired. I think he was fired on a Tuesday or Monday. I think it was Tuesday, really. When Chip Kelly was fired, he was fired from being a head coach, of course. And now we're looking for a new head coach. So, if you want my suggestions on who I think should be head coach, I'll give them in a minute. But first, I want to talk about Chip Kelly. What did I like about him? What did I not like about him? Well, what I liked about him was that I did not mind the whole no huddle, fast break offense. I have no problem with that. But of course, this is where what I didn't like about him is that when it came down to the offense not working, if it didn't work, then it didn't work. And it was obvious enough this season, which led to him being fired. Now, another one that I did not like about him, well, in this case, with what the players did not like about him, was that Lane Johnson, he basically pointed out best. I mean, Lane Johnson was one to say he was just a dictator. He wasn't the kind of guy that would just, talk to you or whatever which he said it was. I have to go back and look at that article again. But what I do know is this: is that if he was causing that much friction in the locker room, if he wasn't a locker room kind of guy, if they was giving up on him, then I have no problem with him being fired. Because if the players don't want to play for the coach, then there you go. I mean, like, it is how it is. He's gonna leave. It's crazy because for me, and for any other Eagles fan, they'll tell you this whether they wanted Chip fired or not, is that they did not expect Jeffrey Lurie to pull the trigger just like that. They didn't expect him to do it, that early. There was like, okay, we're probably gonna give Chip another year, but the fact that he's going just like that, you know, I guess that kind of lets you know Jeffrey Lurie, he's not fucking around anymore. So wow, I still can't believe it myself. Today for me it's Thursday, it's New Year's, and the guy is gone just like that. Like the fuck. So for me, for Jeffrey Lurie, I kind of applaud him. I'm happy he did it because we do need to bring someone here that can have some, put some stability in with this Eagles team. It might take a few years really to have this team get in good shape. So it'd be worth it though. We just have to be patient, which is the sad part with us Eagles fans is that we're not patient at all. Oh God. Sorry. Had a yawn there, but yeah, for me, the three coordinators that I could see us bringing in as head coaches is Adam Gase from the Chicago Bears. He was formerly with the Denver Broncos. He made Peyton Manning basically have one of his best years, over there at Denver. Probably one of his best years in his career. He became the MVP. I believe that 2013 season. I think 2013 season. I think that was when they went to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Seahawks. So yeah, I have to say I'll be looking forward to bring him here. That guy is the quarterback whisperer. He'll probably make Bradford a lot more better than what he was, this season where he was struggling, the first half and midway through the season, but at the end he started to get a little more better. Maybe he'll make Bradford a better quarterback. And then there's Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott was previously here back when Jim Johnson was still around. When Jim Johnson died, he took over as defensive coordinator, and he didn't do so well. Andy Reid, he fired him. Sean McDermott went over to the Carolina Panthers, and we see how they end up now. Now, I have my questions with Sean McDermott simply because of the fact that is Ron Rivera's defense, and we don't know for sure if most of it is on him or if most of it is on. God, I keep yawning. We don't know if most of it is on him or most of it is on Ron Rivera, but for me, most of it is on Ron Rivera. But then again, I'm willing to give Sean McDermott another shot as long as he makes this defense that the Eagles have, which has a more potential than the offense. So I'm hoping that he turns this defense into at least a top 10 defense. I'm not expecting top 5, that's probably pushing it, but top 10 at least because this defense has to get better. We have the talent to make this defense even top 10, let alone probably top 5 material. but it's being so underutilized. It's not even funny. So for me, I want really for me, I want a defensive coordinator. But I'm not gonna be mad if we go offense. I want defensive coordinator as a head coach, but for me, I'm not gonna be mad if we go offense. So the next one is Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson was formerly with the Raiders. A lot of people have said that when the Raiders went 8-8, it was really him that had him step the team up. And what Jeffrey Lurie said, he wants a guy that shows heart, wants a guy that shows the passion for the city. And Hugh Jackson fits that bill perfectly. You see exactly what he's doing with the Cincinnati Bengals right now. They was undefeated up until that point. One of the points I forgot who they lost to. Um, and then it's been really solid, But since Andy Dalton went down, it hasn't been solid enough because of the fact that their franchise quarterback went down and Andy Dalton. So for me, I would love for Hugh Jackson to come over here. I would love for all three of these coordinators. Either one for me does not matter as long as they make the Eagles much more better. But all I know for this much, no matter who is the offensive coordinator, no matter who's the head coach, no matter who's the offensive coordinator, all I know is that for DeMarco Murray, he's gonna get what he's been wanting since basically Dallas because he has not liked the system that Chip Kelly has ran here, and who can blame him? Because we are all the same way. There are times where we get mad at DeMarco Murray, but there's most of the time where we get mad at Chip Kelly for one, not assembling a solid offensive line replacement for Evan Mathis and Todd Hermans. Two, because you're making DeMarco Murray wrong the run way, the wrong the run the wrong way. I'm fucking tripping. I'm getting my words messed up. You're making him run the wrong way. He's not supposed to run east west. You're making him, you gotta make him run north south. And then they're saying Bradford, who everybody says he's perfect for the pro style system. To be honest with you, he is the traditional drop back passer. He'll probably fit more better in a pro style system than he does. In fact, he will fit more better in a pro style system, no matter how you look at it, because he's going to be back next year, unless the Eagles are going to be drafting Paxton Lynch just like that and starting them. For me, it's basically like that. The Eagles, they're going to give him a shot. The Eagles did. The Eagles, they're not going to give DeMarco Murray his shot to prove, okay, we signed you this much money, we got the system built in for you. Let's make shit happen. But for the Eagles to do that, they have to bring in some linemen. They have to bring in some linemen that'll at least replicate Evan Mathis and at least Todd Hermans of 2013. Jason Peters, as much as I hate to say, he might be leaving unless he restructures and moves over to left guard, which Jason Peters has said he will be willing to do. He'll have no problem in switching over to left guard. So we will have Lane Johnson over at left tackle, but in the biggest spots that would be worrisome are the right guard and right tackle positions, which we're probably gonna fill in free agency and in the draft if most likely in the draft. So there's that we have to address. It has to be the offensive line. That's the biggest key is the that's it. That's the biggest key is the offensive line. Now, some would say wide receiver is. Not personally agree, but for me, to be quite honest with you, as much as I would love Alshon Jeffrey to be here, I don't see him coming here unless if all of a sudden Adam Gase decides to come here and Alshon Jeffrey be like, okay, I'll take a small pay cut or whatever it is to come here as long as I can play, as long as I can still play with this guy as my coach, because he does a damn good job at throwing less interceptions, whatever. That's what I'll be thinking if I'm Alshon Jeffrey in this case. But I highly doubt that he'll want to come here. So we're gonna have to go to the draft. We're still gonna have to address another wide. We're going to get another wide receiver. What's crazy is that all three of the draft positions, if you have not noticed, they've all been wide receiver. Josh Huff, Nelson Aguilar, Jordan Matthews. Nelson Aguilar, you already know last year. Jordan Matthews and Josh Huff, round 2 and 3 from the 2014 draft. So, yeah, 2013, 2014 draft, no matter 2014 draft, but it has to be another wide receiver, which I hate to say. Either that or we're probably gonna go for Malcolm Floyd. who I've heard who's another uh solid candidate for the Eagles to go after. So for me, with the Philadelphia Eagles, they can get shit going with a new head coach. They really can. But for me, I want to talk about the 4-3 defense. I already talked about it on offense. I want to talk about the 4-3 defense. A lot of people talked about Fletcher Cox, probably being one of the best defensive ends. But the crazy thing about it is that he's being one of the best defensive ends in a position that he's not really that good in. Uh, Fletcher Cox is mainly good to be in a 4-3. And he'll be the defensive tackle. He'll be the nose tackle. And I need to say this real quick. Uh, I remember specifically saying to one of my friends, I said, "Yo, imagine if the Eagles had somebody like Ndamukong Suh. Fletcher Cox is exactly who I was thinking for when I saw him at the 2012 draft when he was picked up. I had not known a damn thing about Fletcher Cox. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I didn't know shit about this dude. When they picked him up first round, everybody was cheering shit, and when I saw his highlights, I'm like, oh shit, this guy actually looks like the kind of guy I was looking for in terms of comparison with Ndamukong Suh. I don't know if he was getting that kind of comparisons when he was over there when he was picked up at the draft. I don't know if he was being talked about like that from NFL Network or ESPN. But right now, he's looking like a strong case to be that exact kind of guy. I mean, Fletcher Cox is currently the best defensive lineman right now in the NFC. And he's proven it again for me. He proved it last season. He was snubbed for Pro Bowl. This year he has not been snubbed, and he rightfully earned his Pro Bowl spot. What I do know is this: is that the Philadelphia Eagles, they better give that man his money, because he freaking earns it. So Fletcher Cox for me, I would love to have this guy long term. Ain't no question. 5-year deal. 5 year, 7-year deal, whichever how you make it. Give that man his fucking money because he deserves to be here. We better not make it like a Reggie White situation. So yeah, he was basically people was basically saying like, yo, this guy is the best defensive end not named JJ Watt. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that crazy? We need to resign this guy. Imagine him in a 4-3 right now. Fletcher Cox, Benny Logan, who's also a damn good 4-3 defensive end. Vinny Curry, who's also a good 4-3 defensive end. You know what? This is crazy when you look at it. The Philadelphia Eagles have 3 good defensive ends, defensive tackles that will be so much more better at the 4-3 scheme. There's a reason why a lot of Eagles fans, they've been wanting for this scheme change. They've been wanting for it so freaking badly. And now I'm hoping that by next season we get what we're looking for. We get a 4-3 scheme. Part of it because of our defensive ends and nose tackles, but another part of it is because of the fact that hopefully our linebackers will get more better. Michael Kendricks has not been good this year. Kiko Alonso has been unheard of ever since he made that one-handed catch. Jordan Hicks was the brightest, draft pick out of that entire draft. So that's one thing you have to give Chip Kelly credit for. That and Eric Rowe throughout the draft from this year, they've been damn good. They've been solid. They've been holding their own, especially Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks was making a strong case for Defensive Rookie of the Year before he went down. So hopefully by next season he'll start to come back, have some vengeance. And then the secondary is the secondary. Walter Thurman, who would have thought he would have turned out being that good? We need to sign him to a solid contract, at least 3 years. Like Malcolm Jenkins type deal, 3-year contract. 20, I don't know, 10 million, 15 million at best, I guess. So yeah, we need to sign him to a solid contract. Yeah, man, Sam Bradford, he's gonna get another year, hopefully. If he does not get another year, we'll bring in Paxton Lynch. But for me, Paxton Lynch, he's not ready. Paxton Lynch is going. For me, he'll be better off as Sam Bradford's understudy for a couple years, and then come in, and we'll see what he can do from there. So would I want Paxton Lynch here? You're damn right I would. But the only way I would want Paxton Lynch here is that we will have to address the offensive line first in free agency. Then we'll go get him. But if we do not, then we're better off getting a lineman. Unless of course, okay, if they feel like that Paxton Lynch is gonna be their future franchise quarterback, I'm not mad at that. Go ahead and bring him in. But we have to address the offensive line. That is really priority one coming this offseason. So for me, you know, who would I want as a head coach? Yeah, it's Sean McDermott really. But if any of the other two, Hugh Jackson with the Cincinnati Bengals doing a damn good job over there, and Adam Gase from the Cincinnati Bears, the Chicago Bears doing a damn good job over there. Being the quarterback whisperer. Any of those guys, I would love to have here. Chip Kelly. The problem with Chip Kelly was that he was too stubborn. He was too stubborn. He didn't want to change shit. Billy Davis is the exact same way. He didn't want to change shit. Um, yeah. Both of them didn't want to change shit. Uh, they didn't want to fit their scheme to certain players. Byron Maxwell. I hate the fact that Byron Maxwell's playing 10 yards off when he's better off. Doing like 5 yard, being like pressing the man. I mean, we look at it from Seattle Seahawks when he was over there. He was literally up in that dude's face, pressing the shit out of him. That's what I want to see. I want to see Byron Maxwell and DeMarco Murray used right. We paid for these motherfuckers. Use them correctly. That's the biggest problem throughout this entire season was that they was not being used correctly. There's that. There's our wide receivers. They cannot fucking catch. Nelson Aguilar, he's a rookie and I'm trying to give him another year. Jordan Matthews, I'm trying to give him time. Riley Cooper, he's getting the fuck out of here. Uh, Josh Huff, for me, I feel like Josh Huff, he needs to go. Honestly, he needs to go because he hasn't shown me shit. Once Josh Huff catches one ball, that's it. He's not heard of the rest of the game. Plain and simple, he's quiet. He's not heard of the rest of the game. Josh Huff, honestly, he needs to go. I mean, I'm sorry. Chip left. You can go with him, Josh. Plain and simple. That Oregon bias shit is gonna stop today. Kiko Alonso, he might leave, but he's on a rookie deal as much as Josh Huff. But the thing is that Kiko Alonso, at least before, he's shown improvement before. Josh Huff hasn't shown jack shit besides that one kickoff return for a touchdown and that one stiff arm versus Dallas last year. So for me, Josh Huff, you honestly need to go. Unless if the head coach that comes in all of a sudden he makes him a better player, he needs to go. So for me, guys, that's how I feel with this Philadelphia Eagles offseason. Chip Kelly, best of luck to wherever you go. If he heads over to Tennessee with Marcus Mariota, he'll have the franchise quarterback he's looking for and the first overall pick. But for the Philadelphia Eagles, for me, they just have to lose out with this game versus the Giants. Get a top draft pick, get some good players. Have Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray fit the scheme that you're looking for. Hopefully it's an I formation scheme. And, that'd be it for me. So, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.